G'day guys, we've got Samuuks on a state on today from KZG after winning that 2-0 against God's Work. And I gotta ask one question particularly on Anubis, okay Sam? This is for you. What the fuck were you thinking running for that Molotov and getting that 2k? Like you muffed your own Molotov and just went fuck it, let's do it. What was going through your head?
Well, I knew they had bad economy, so I just needed to get those 2 kills, and I am shit and missed the Molotov somehow. So that was the only way to kill them was to run through my own Molotov, and I guess it worked out well because Swanky was not happy.
Yeah, I saw in chat. I was like, I saw chat just popping off, and I'm just like, what does Swanky said? And Swanky's like, he's probably sitting there, super demotivated, being like, you ran for your own fucking Molotov.
That's pretty much exactly what was said. Yeah.
Yep. So go back to Dust in particular. Like, you know, what was really going on in that map? Because you guys had really good retakes. You retook 5 out of 7 rounds on your CT side.
Oh, really?
Yep, 5 out of 7.
I didn't realize.
Perfect 5 out of 7. You're making the memes happen.
Yeah, you can talk if you want, Bailey.
I was just going to say, just good players, to be honest. I'm playing, just having the good firepower and just being able to really relax during the whole thing. We didn't really care if they took space. We know we can just retake it. So
yeah,
that's really about it.
We decided to play, well, at least to start, we played a bit off a long to start with. So I guess that's where a lot of the retakes came from. They were just, we allowed them to prog up A and then just using all our util to get them when they came onto site. But yeah, we did switch it up towards the end. But I think that's probably why we got a lot of retakes. But there was also just, a lot of good individual plays. I think everyone was feeling it.
So overall, who's retiring at the end of the season here? Because I know DPR's retiring. Estate, he says it quietly that he's retiring. And you're retiring. But who else on the team's retiring? Because I know things Ming and Belly and NPR staying. But who else is?
I think you did that. Yeah.
Is everyone?
Just named it. Yeah. I think Ming, without saying too much, I think Ming, Belly, and NPR will be continuing to play together.
Yeah.
As a core. Basically, Belly and I we're going to probably retire this season. Yeah. And our goal right now is just to hopefully get the boys into ECL if possible, as well as Josh. So, but we're all just good mates. As you know, Ming, Josh, which is DPR, Estate, and I played before. On KZG back in the day, so we're all good mates, and
So
get into ECL.
So where are you guys going off to after CS in particular? Is it like more career based, or is it just CS2, or?
For me, like I've been in my career for the past 2 years, so been sacrificing a lot of time putting into CS and stuff. So like you finish your day's work and you put 3-4 hours into CS afterwards. It's you don't really get much of a life, and especially when you have to tell friends that nah, I can't come out after prac or scrim or do an official. So buying a house, I've got a fiance, so it's like I don't know. I think it's my time to start doing real life.
You got to add the fiance to KZG, mate.
I don't think that would. I don't think that would go down well.
Okay. What sort of things do you do, Estate? Sorry, Sam.
Yeah, no worries.
In what sense?
Like career wise.
I work in healthcare without saying too much.
Okay, that's all right.
Yep.
Sorry, Sam. So what about you, man? What are you doing after CS2?
Yeah. So I just finished my uni degree. Fortunately, got my dream job. So I've been doing that for around 3 months now. And it's just, full-time work. I enjoy my job a lot and it's my dream job. So I just, when you come home after, a 10-hour day, including travel, or sometimes even 11, it takes that long. You just don't have time to spend 4 hours scrimming because like really my day is wake up at 6, get home at 6, and then scrim from, sometimes start theory at 6 or 7 and then scrim till 10 or 11.
Yep.
So you just literally don't have anything for those 5 days a week to do. So it's just kind of, I guess we're just kind of worn out. We've been doing it since 2020, maybe.
Yeah, that's when you guys you guys made it.
2022. Maybe it was 2022. No, it's 2022 is when we started. So it's just been 3 years of grinding. So just need a break. I think for now.
So
You never know. Maybe in a year's time, 6 months time, we might. But like probably in terms of CS, like we may just like make a pug team, like get Hassie back in, maybe a few people just for fun,
Friends,
play like
yeah,
just play once a week maybe. But yeah, other than that, that's kind of the go at the moment.
Oh, yeah, where did Hassie go in the end? Like, did Hassie get his dream job too? Like, or he just got. Yep.
Yeah, he got the job he wanted, like out of uni. He got the job he wanted, but yeah, he's also just needs time off as well.
Yep. So Sam, what is your dream job? Is it a CEO of a top 10 ASX organization?
No. It's a industrial designer is what I do, and it runs in the family. So yeah, it's definitely it's that you design products is pretty much what I do. Yeah,
is it like a family business, or is it just like you've all got one thing you work for, or work with, or work for?
Yeah, it's not a family business. Just industrial designers as a profession is just a thing in the family. But yeah,
actually, I gotta say,
for another company.
I actually never asked this in particular. How did KZG get together? Because you had Payne, Estates, yourself, Hassie. Like, how did that all get together?
Yeah, I don't want to keep talking, but I could say because I know the backstory like fully. Basically, what happened is Payne and I we were playing. We met on retakes, like just the KZG retake servers. I was a admin at the time, and we were just like, we're smashing everyone retakes. What about we just make a team just for fun? And basically, Payne just one day was playing MM, and he was like dropped like 40 kills in an MM game, and there was a guy on the other team who also dropped 40 kills, and he messaged that guy, and that guy turned out to be Hassie. So he met him, and then Hassie's best friend was Bailey, and we just randomly formed a team. Payne and I lied about our Faceit levels. We were level 3 and 7 or 3 and 5 on Faceit, and Bailey and Hassie were level 10s with like 2300, 2500 elo. And we were like, oh yeah, we're level 10s, and then we started screaming, and then we played a Faceit game like a week later. They're like, wait, these guys are level 3 and 7, and then they almost left us. But yeah, actually, that's how it started. Just from an MM random pop-off game from Payne and Hassie, and that's how we met.
So that revolving fifth door of a player is not a bug; it's a feature. That's what I'm being told here at the moment.
yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
So I think every time we changed someone out, though, we definitely got better as a team. Like we took the experience from that player, and then they just got to a point where they didn't fit in. So
yeah, especially when
I think it worked for us.
Yeah, when we first got Minning, like because we literally went from playing ESEA Open, we would literally play exactly the same every game. Like I would literally, like on Ancient, for example, I would sit Temple every round on A and not move because I thought that was the only thing that people did, for example. And we used to play like 3 or 4 towards B and only 1 A in mid for like a whole ESA Open season because we had no clue what we were doing. And then as soon as we got Ming in, everything changed. We were like, holy shit, like CS is actually a lot more than just what we thought. And that's how it we started to progress from there.
It's a shame that you didn't get Ming during the Overpass hero, man, because I'm trying to remember which team he upset. I think he upset like Rooster and Vertex on Overpass. It was actually fucking scary.
It was Vertex.
Yeah,
they're about to win against Vertex.
Yeah.
So overall you had the fifth door in particular. But I gotta say, you had a lot of good things said about you because you had Ming, you had DPR, you had a lot of people go through KZG that went on to do bigger and better things. So do you guys feel like you're like a feeder or a developer team? Feeder's a bad word, but a developing team?
Yeah, well, I guess you could say it, but it's actually funny. Like we had this funny story because basically we beat Mind Freak in that qualifier for ESL Melbourne, and as soon as we beat them, we had a LAN coming up, and Payne left the team for the team that we beat. And then, when Josh eventually came on the team and all that happened, for the first time we beat Rooster in that ECL game where we almost won that Inferno game, and then we beat them on Anubis and made it to playoffs instead of them.
Yeah.
And then Josh joined Rooster afterwards. So basically every team that we beat, as soon as we managed to beat them, our player left to that team, which is quite funny. But yeah, we definitely were that. But I guess definitely for Payne, but Josh as well. He obviously had experience in like Mind Freak before he came to us. But yeah.
So in particular, so you guys came really onto the scene, making that major qualifier through a pretty weak lower bracket, or no, pretty weak. Yeah, it was a lower side of the bracket.
I remember that. Yep.
So how was it versus Greyhound in your first round? Was it like, kind of you got to get shat on? Because I was casting that game and I said, yeah, KZG, I'm going to do anything for the Greyhound.
Yeah. To be honest,
that was a funny game.
we thought we would get shat on, and then when we were playing, we were like, dude, these guys are actually kind of shit. Like, like at the time, we were like, dude, we're 16-10 up against, like, I'm telling, like, Josh,
what was this, Dexter?
No.
You want to knife them in game?
Okay. We were 10-10 or something at some point. Like, we were actually even scores in like the MR15, and we knew nothing. Like, we didn't even know like what like a proper like dig tape was or anything. Like,
my God.
Looking back then, it was just insane. Like, I remember they were spraying, like, Inns, like, sprayed our bodies in, like, boiler, like, when they were winning, like, 5-0 up at one point. We're like, oh, shit, we are so shit compared to these guys. But all of a sudden, we just started hitting these life shots, and, yeah, it got close. And after that, we were like, let's actually, like, try and make it. Like, we could actually, like, if we actually get our act together, we have the ability to, like, go overseas or play on a stage. And obviously, both of those things happened. So that's what we went to.
You missed an important round. When it was like, I think it was like 10-9 or 10-10, like you were saying, or 11-10.
Yeah.
Then Alistar's back dark or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
He pulls out his ZZ and gets like 2-3 running kills with the ZZ. And we're like, oh, okay. They just win every single round after that. He was solo on the bomb side as well.
Yeah.
I still remember that to this day. The luckiest shots of that man's career.
I was going to say,
yeah.
CZs, I gotta say, overall. Yeah. I remember when those
they were the
insane weapon to get, and they nerfed them so hard on the ground.
Yeah, now they're just dog shit. Just 5-7 now for the win.
Yeah. Now the other one in particular as well, there's a Greyhound game in particular. I'm trying to think of the other game you guys were pulling off, or the stage games overall, where like how was it like really egoing MIBR, because that second round in particular where they forced up on you, and I'm sitting there going like, what the fuck? Like this is ego central. How was that knocking that back?
It felt good on the stage. Like, I honestly, I don't really recall it that massively now, but we knew we were dog shit at the time anyway. Yep. Like, we came into that tournament so unprepared because we got that like secondary invite to it.
Yep.
So we had, I think it was like 2 weeks of prep, and we're like, just whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
What was your prep against MIBR? Like, was it just kill Insani and pray for the best?
Pretty much the only prep was Ming literally, I think he looked at a few things before, because like I was in like a really like crucial point in uni as well. So I don't think we did a single scrim.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Beforehand.
Yeah.
Like I literally had to finish my like one of my major projects like a week before it was due just to make it to this thing. And I was in crunch for like 2 weeks after we knew. And we basically just showed up. It was also Cracks DT. We had Cracks DT, and that we hadn't. I think we played like 2 scrims with him, because before we played the Game Expo LAN with him for the first time. It was our first official we ever played with him. Yep. And then I think we played maybe like 2 days of scrims, and then we went straight to this Melbourne thing. So yeah. And we found out like mid-official. I can't remember what we were playing. It might have been like an LPL thing or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
We found out like mid-official. I like got like an email, and I was like, wait. That can't be real. We're actually not going to that. And then I looked over it afterwards. I was like, holy shit.
Because we should have been made it to it anyway. Because when we were versing Sunday School, I think we lost like 6 Ancient A retakes in a row. It was something crazy. It wasn't in a row, but like
Glarg's just too good, mate. Just face it, Glarg's just better.
Yeah. We were better in the upper bracket, and then the classic.
Yeah, we haunting the lower bracket.
Yeah.
The classic when they beat you again for the final time, you just lose. But
Yep. So yeah, how was versing Rooster on stage overall? Because you versed the Australian LAN team as well after losing to MIBR. Was like obviously you had a bit of part of the show as well with Conky on the stage. Like how was that as well? Like a bit of a grudge match. Was it fun? Or did you just realize that ASAP? Did you realize that ASAP on LAN is like, holy shit, 60 MS is really holding him back?
And we just got shut up. We started talking. I remember during halftime, we started talking about like what we're gonna have for lunch or dinner after the game and stuff like that. So we kind of just like got out of it because we were getting smashed so hard.
Yeah, we knew it was like I can't remember what round it was. We were like, okay, shit. We are not ready for this. We just got absolutely smacked. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, because as we said, we didn't have that much prep. I don't think we hadn't even prepped for Rooster. We only prepped our first game, so we had no clue, and we actually ran the strats against it was like MIBR against Rooster. That was a counter for MIBR against Rooster. So that kind of gives you an idea of what was going on. We were using the wrong thing for the wrong team. It was but yeah, it was good fun though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what? How do what do you take out from the stage games, particularly? Because I talked to ZTR after Game of Legion got fucked by Falcons, and he's like, it's the happiest team he's seen being fucked that hard on stage. What were your feelings?
Just surreal that we're playing in front of the crowd. To be honest, I don't think the game really mattered. It was more so we're in an ESL event that Bailey and Hassie. The year before, we're in the crowd watching, and we're on the stage now playing it. That's just so surreal.
Yeah.
So
we had a conversation. Me and Hassie were sitting in the stage, how crazy would it be to play on that stage? And then we talked about it for 20 minutes, and we're like, yeah, we had some drinks, and we started talking about it more. We got absolutely wasted. And then next year we're on that stage.
Or the year after that.
Maybe year after that,
yeah. 2 years because I didn't have it the year before. But yeah, just crazy.
Yeah, actually,
his experience was everything.
I was actually going to wonder in particular, with the KZG team in particular, you're joining a team. How do you get that together? I know there's an owner of KZG, but do you talk to Tina and be like, hey guys, we play your savers a lot. You want to have a team, or how did that eventuate?
Yeah, also because I'm the one who did it. Yeah, because I started playing on KZG in 2017, 2018, the retake servers, and I became an admin, then a head admin on the servers. Then I used to manage I still do the retake servers and stuff. So I knew Tito, I knew Sky, and I knew that they had servers. And I remember Tito messaging me in the past saying, "Oh, we should just do an esports or whatever." And our team just randomly got good with me, and obviously, and Payne was also a staff member on KZG. So it was just we got KZG right here. Let's just ask them, and then that's how it came to be.
Okay, yeah. Because I was wondering how that came to be. So I was like, "Oh, did you just ask them? Yeah, you want something? Yeah." So you guys had
pretty much it. Yeah.
You guys have an infamous esports event with MIBR and a certain football game. Have you guys been secretly practicing so you can beat them if they come back to Melbourne?
Well, FIFA. Oh yeah, no. that game's horrible. I don't know how people play that. I didn't know how to play the controls, and then me and Hassie couldn't communicate what we wanted to do, and they started talking Brazilian. So we're just they're legit talking strats.
I believe it's Portuguese. I believe it's Portuguese.
Yeah, they just started talking Portuguese and they couldn't do anything.
Did they meme up and go you'll never understand, and just turn and look at you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they were really funny guys. After I guess one of the weird things about the ESEA Melbourne for us was meeting the players we've seen on stream. You see them on stream and then you meet them, and they're the MIBR guys especially. They're really good guys. I remember afterwards they told us everything we did wrong. After we asked them, that they weren't afraid to tell us how to improve, which was really good. Yeah. They weren't keeping that from us.
Also, as well, in Sani in particular, I talked to him while I was at the signing session. He said they would go 3-0, okay, in the finals. They would win every single semi-finals. They did it. They dropped the map to Apex, but anyway.
Yeah, but they did win.
They did win, though.
So it feels good, We lost to the guys who won, right? So yeah.
Very, very important. I guess say with ESEA in particular, with the season shift, because I've talked to Ming and DPR about this. How do you feel about the season shifting to now cups, and do you feel it devalues open?
I think
I don't have an opinion on this.
Yeah, I have an opinion. Yeah, I think the cup's a good idea. I think the four seasons are a really good idea. I feel like the 2 seasons, especially in Australia, between those big breaks, it's kind of dead. So having these 4 more spread out seasons, I think is good, and I think it gives. Well, we can talk about that this soon, but it should give more teams opportunities, right? But then the issue is because they're going to 8 VRS. I think that's completely stupid because the only way to get VRS in Australia is so bad. From the top 4 up, right?
Yeah.
That's normally fine, right? You've got your Fly Quest, your Semperfi at the moment, then you got your Mind Freak or Rooster, right? That's all with the top 4. Obviously, that's going to change now with Mind Freak shifting everything around. But then below that, whatever order the VRS is in, it's complete bullshit. Like
Yeah.
it could be like the number 5 team could be the number 10 in actual gameplay, but because the points are so small, like the difference in points is like 100 VRS points between like 6 teams,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like doesn't make any sense. So I think I like the idea of like previously having the ESEA Open teams like the winner goes to. I feel like for this season, or like I can't remember which one it was, having like the 5 ESEA Open teams is not, or like 4 is not a good idea.
It was going to be for this season. There's going to be 5 ESEA Open teams, but they changed it to
so
cups.
Yeah. So that would have been completely stupid. But for the for 2, like the winner of each season, I think that's a great idea. So you just have 6 and then winner of each season. I think that's good. But yeah, the 8 VRS is just not a good idea, because to get VRS points in Australia is like impossible. You don't even get it through qualifiers. Yeah, like and then that's just luck of the draw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like realistically speaking, in Australia, like that's why I was a bit I was like, we need to have some VRS events. Like we can't have non-VRS events in Australia anymore. Because I was thinking about the LAN coming up and also Sparks Cup. I was like, these got to be VRS rated because there's nothing outside ESEA.
Yeah, it's terrible. And also, now that they've changed for the next major, that there's no Oceanic region for the closed qualifiers. I don't know if you've heard that.
I've heard that.
The Oceanic region now has to play in West Asia. So the only way that teams are going to get there is they do not get flown out. They will have to fly out there themselves and play in the West Asia qualifier. So the only way that's going to happen is for teams who can spend that much money to get 5 players to fly out to West Asia. So that's just made it even worse. So OCE is just getting shut on.
It's the West Asia qualifier. I thought it was going to be the East Asia qualifier because the previous operation.
Sorry, East. East.
The previous qualifier.
Way, they have to fly overseas. Yeah.
The reason why I don't think it was new because the Oceanic qualifier was Oceania and Southeast Asia already. It's just Oceania had the top 4 spots.
Yeah.
So that's, like I say, that's nothing. I felt like I don't think it's really new because like if you look at the previous major qualifier, it's Southeast Asia and Oceania. It's just Oceania had all the VRS spots.
Yeah, but now it's going to change, right? With I think Lin Vision and Tai Lu make it to stage 2.
Oh yeah, it should be 1 extra spot. We should have 5 spots instead of 4. Yeah. I gotta say I was hoping for 6 and then I realized, but at least we got guaranteed a spot and Lin Vision stole 1, which was even better because Lin Vision really shouldn't be in stage 2, but they're stealing everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, like what do you think would help out the CS2 system quite a lot in ANZ? My opinion is like just have a supporting tournament for VRS on the outside, and then basically VRS would look good in the cups. Is there anything else that we need to add in?
Lands, obviously.
Yeah.
Playing the land frags, they're doing a very good job of.
Yeah. Obviously, it'd be great if we had more as well. Mm-hmm. But it's lands is everything, right? And it's completely different. And I feel like you out people who might be cheating as well.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. You can have the infamous word that Richard Lewis calls people that good online but shit online. The SOL, shit online.
Yeah. Not necessarily cheating, but also good on if you can play well online but you can't play on LAN, you can't play CS. Basically, CS is a LAN game in its essence.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember competitive.
I remember Dave in particular saying that you don't get away with your peak advantage shit on LAN.
Yeah, no. It's a lot faster online. The game's faster.
Yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Little predictions at the end. Which games do you guys think you'll retire on? Okay, which games do you feel like are going to be your last game? Okay.
Against the fellas in the grand final, that's our last game, right? Surely. Nah, it's going to be obviously really hard to beat Fury. They've been in the team for Mantra. They've been in the team for a year and a bit now, solid. Mm-hmm. So they're great guys. We speak with them in China. They're really funny. But yeah, they're obviously going to be hard to beat, especially with us. We're not pracking. We don't even know what the live's going to be. Bally might not have been playing at that time. So we don't even know if it's even going to be the best lineup or it's just
depends who's available on the day. Yeah. Because I'm not even playing CS apart from officials pretty much. I think the past month and a half I've played 1 pug. And then it's just officials. I haven't played CS apart from that. So
yeah. So we'll see. But yeah,
Okay.
hopefully it's we can beat Fury and get the boys into ECL.
Yeah, that's the goal.
That's the end goal.
You know, thing I like the joke the fellas might say is that why didn't you guys mention us in being top 4 VRS if they hear this interview?
They fell off.
Yeah, I forgot about I forgot about them, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously they're top 4 now with Mindfreak gone.
Yep.
Or whatever they are now.
Anyways, guys, really appreciate you guys coming on, and really appreciate you guys really contributing to the scene, and also giving it a really big try as well, given the fact that revolving fifth door, you had a lot of issues here and there. Hassie in particular, I want to give him a big shout out, even though I was critical of him on the big green. I'm saying, you know, he's not really used to it. Him sacrificing that sort of role in the team to do that's pretty huge.
Yeah.
And you guys really
knocked around a lot.
You guys really like tried to make cause work, and you just didn't seem to give up, even though like you could have gone at any of those times and everyone would have been said, yeah, that's fine, and yet you guys walked away, but you guys didn't. I really appreciate that, and I think the scene appreciates that overall, and I think Tito appreciates that a lot as well, and all of KZG as well. So I'd like to thank you guys for that as well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we said when we started that our goal was to 1, play overseas, and 2, play on the stage, and we did both of that. So we're happy at the end of the day as well.
Good work, guys. Anyway, see you guys later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Cheers. Yeah.
Later.